Great. We'll open questions for Alex.
Hey, Alex, how much pride do you take on those long runs? You got to have the blocking downfield to make them happen. Just how big a deal is that, been emphasized all offseason?
Yeah, it's been huge ever since Coach Rule and the staff came here. Coach McGuire, we always emphasize it every day in practice. We're touchdown blocks as receivers. We're usually the last line or the last block before the run breaks or whatever it is. So we take a lot of pride in it. And it's just showing love for your teammates because you want them to be successful. And if you don't make those blocks, those runs won't happen sometimes. So.
As the offense has evolved, as Heinrich said on Saturday, you guys have had to institute more perimeter blocking in addition to downfield with the receivers. You run an option, so there's some changes there with what the receivers are asked to do. How is that reflected in practice? Like, how much time are you spending now on new elements of the playbook that weren't there for you just a month or two ago?
Yeah, even just today, I think we spent probably 3 periods today during practice where, as receivers, we're just blocking, working on the run game. So, it's not just like we're half and half almost at practice, run block and then just catching the ball, so running routes. So it's a big part of our offense, and we know that. And our offense counts on us to be able to perimeter block, and it's a big part of this offense. So,
I'm asking you to commentate on officiating, but what's the key? Like, the holds called. What are you looking to do on those plays when you got a guy?
Yeah, people often ask me, what's the hardest part about playing receiver? It's blocking because the DB or whoever you're blocking can see the play and you can't, so it's hard to know when to let go or when someone's running by you. But yeah, usually you just got to be like, you have to react quick if you feel them coming off you because the guy's running by him, you got to let go. And, unfortunately that was called. I can't do anything about that, but, I just learned from it and move on.
What's the technique on those plays? What are you taught to do? What makes that work well?
I try to keep my hands inside, and then just run your feet, drive them. And then, for those plays, I think it was an outside run, so I'm trying to contain the outside to let the running back go or come off my outside and try to keep him inside. And then if he comes off like that, I got to let go next time. So.
How have you seen Heinrich get more comfortable in the huddle at practice, just in these last 2 weeks in general?
Yeah. I said after the Northern Illinois game, that was his first start, but felt like he's been starting here for 3 years, the way he handled himself and how confident he played. And then that carried into last week too. He just seems very comfortable out there. I think his confidence has gone way up just playing in those games, getting those reps. He's very confident out there. Out in practice, he's been way more of a leader. He's very vocal, and he has like all the attributes that you would want out of a quarterback in terms of leadership. So he's doing really well at that right now.
How similar are you guys? You both really came out of nowhere this year of not being on the field to now being starters together.
Yeah, me and Heinrich, we came up together, same class. We've both been on the scout team the last 2 years. He's been my scout team quarterback, so it's kind of, like you said, the same path. We built some chemistry together, but we've kind of gone through the same journey. First 2 years scout team, new coaching staff, just putting in work and showing what we can do to this new coaching staff, getting a chance, and then trying to be able to put that on the field. So I'd say me and Heinrich are very similar when it comes to that, just the journey we've taken to get to this point.
You get much of a sense of what it's like for him to be – you're a receiver who's from the state and has moved into a starting role. How much different is it for a quarterback who's in that same position with just the attention that's on
Yeah,
him?
no, I think we go through a lot of the same things, but like you said, you know how a quarterback is. You got probably the most pressure on the whole team, the most attention. You got one of the hardest jobs, if not the hardest, on the field. So the pressure for him and me might be a little bit different. So it's been very impressive to see him handle that. In his first 2 starts, he's handled it very well, all the things that come with being a quarterback, and it's very impressive to see.
Coach, that's talking about Josh Fleeks maybe getting a little more look at running back. I guess I'm just curious, from your time working with him, what has he brought? What does he do well?
Josh, he's very explosive. He runs with a low center of gravity. I mean, he's played running back for a good amount of his life, so he knows how to play back there. He has long-term speed. You know, if he hits a hole, he can take it. I think he ran 10.4 or something in high school, and he still has that speed. So he's very shifty. Also, he knows how to hit holes. He's very patient. So he fits right in with the running backs out there.
You tell like he's a veteran. He's been around college football for 6 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, just some of the things he does. You know, sometimes I try to like pick up pointers from him because things that he's doing on the field, I'm kind of like, how did you even see that, and all that stuff. And he's been playing. This is 6 years, so he's seen more than I have. You know, double what I have. So it's just good to learn from him. He knows a lot out there.
What kind of potential do guys like Malachi Coleman have? And as an older guy, how do you try to get it out of him in practice?
Yeah, I mean, when you're 6'4" and as fast as he is, you know, he's very gifted. The best way to, you know, he hasn't really I mean, obviously as a freshman, you don't see how hard college is until you actually get here. So he's adjusted very well ever since he got here. And, you know, just the best way to bring it out of him is just in practice every day. You got to go hard. You can't just take those gifts for granted. You got to keep working on them every day because in this league, you know, someone's always trying to take your spot, catch up with you. So I'm, you know, with all the young guys and him too, just trying to push them every day to, you know, reach their potential.
Yeah, I have a question. Probably going to be a big crowd on Saturday. What's your favorite memory when you were a fan of just a big Memorial Stadium crowd and you being there and experiencing it?
Yeah, it's electric. I mean, a couple games come to mind. You know, the Miami game, whatever that was, almost a decade ago. That was a big game. Other big games throughout the years. I mean, the last time we played Michigan here, it was a big game. But you know, the crowd, I mean, I know they're going to be into it. Nebraska fans are second to none, and they're going to bring the energy, and the atmosphere is going to be, you know, pretty great. So
You obviously don't want them to be too loud when you're on the field, but how much can they change a game like this and change a team like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our first 2 games of the year, Minnesota and Colorado, the crowds are very loud. We had to sometimes go on silent counts and do all that type of stuff. So for our opposing offenses, you know, the crowd is actually a lot bigger factor than people might actually think. So, you know, if they're loud out there, it's going to, you know, help our defense. And then, I mean, you know, it kind of rattles the other team too. So, you know, the crowd plays a big factor. Thank you.